Well, hello there and welcome to the first ChangeX event of this year. So 2020 was pretty much a dumpster fire, so this year we are starting off right with a workshop on goal setting. Because here at ChangeX we aspire to inspire young professionals and fellow innovators. My name is Michiel and I will be your host today. Now, today is all about neuro-linguistic programming, which is probably new to you, as it is to most people, and it is a change technology for changing thought and behavior patterns. It's very powerful, as I have experienced the powers of neuro-linguistic programming myself during the practitioner and master practitioner courses that I took at Joan's practice in The Hague. So the workshop today is hosted or presented by Joan Hoexum, the leading expert in neuro-linguistic programming here in the Netherlands and also the CEO of Vitality Solutions. So I kind of want to give you somewhat of a backstory on my personal experience with neuro-linguistic programming to illustrate the life-changing effects that it can have on one's life. So I'm going to take you back about a year, so early January last year. I was in the process of setting up a business in mindfulness and well-being, stress management, that area of personal growth. And my background is in philosophy and mindfulness, both very rational practices. And although powerful in their own rights, I was kind of missing a more practical tool, something to really install new behavior in people so that they could move forward to their desired outcomes. And of course also for my own personal and professional development. At the time I came to Joan with my training goal, which was to unleash my potential as an entrepreneur so that I could make the greatest impact that I could possibly make. Now fast forward a little, Corona happened and still is happening, and my motivation kind of started to lessen, and the entire ordeal of setting up a business just wasn't as appealing anymore. Yet I was so driven by purpose, by the purpose of helping other people, that I just kept on going. And it wasn't until later on in the master practitioner course that I realized that being on my own the entire day trying to find clients and doing acquisition doesn't give me any joy whatsoever. And in that moment, I found an insight that neuro-linguistic programming helped me get to, one that philosophy and mindfulness both did not help me adopt. And that is that I may have an entrepreneurial spirit, but I'm not like a solopreneur. That's not me, and that's not what gives me joy. And when it comes to neuro-linguistic programming, there are two main questions that you should want to ask yourself. The first question is, how much freedom do you want? Well, a lot of freedom. I like freedom. And the second one is, how much joy can you handle? And I think I can handle a great amount of joy, but I wasn't getting any from the path, the professional path that I had chosen. So with the help of Joan and neuro-linguistic programming, I kind of allowed myself this permission slip to let go of my sense of purpose, to give myself a break and really reconnect with my desire to live a more joyful life, to not be backstage in my own life all the time, but to really take center stage and take control of what I want for myself. And sure, I'm still going to help people, that's why I'm here as part of the ChangeX team, but I have directed my course, and yeah, I definitely do have Joan and NLP to thank for that. So that's just a very brief story on the life-changing effects of neuro-linguistic programming. And I'm so excited about having Joan Hoexum here today, and I'm sure she will deliver you a wonderful workshop on how to formulate your goals in a way that will help you reach your desired outcome. So without further ado, let's get into the workshop. And make sure to stay tuned till the end because we do have an amazing giveaway. So, here we go, Joan Hoexum.
Thank you so much for this introduction. It's great to be here, to be sharing ideas, building communities together with ChangeX for young professionals, like-minded people. Thank you so much for that introduction, Michiel. It's my honor to be here, really. And yeah, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Michiel told you a little bit about it, and I'd like to start this event by explaining to you as good as possible what is NLP. Okay, so it's actually the study of successful behavior. It was founded in the 70s by Dr. Richard Bandler, a mathematician, and John Grinder, a professor in linguistics. And actually, as the name implies, neuro-linguistic programming, it's an activity. It's something that you do. And nowadays, it's the technology for personal change. Change in behavior, change in the way you think. Because when you think better, you feel better. And what you can do expands. And as I said before, it is an activity. So the best way to approach NLP is to experience it, to undergo these set of tools that help you to create a better mindset. It is applied in business, in sales, communication, human resources, coaching. You may find snippets of it in different leadership trainings. And well, today actually we have a model prepared, and that is Monique, and she will show you. We'll do it together. She will follow my instructions, and she'll be absolutely fine by following the instructions. What happens when you change your thinking by using different words? Because as the name implies, neuro has everything to do with your brain and your central nervous system. Your brain obviously operates your nervous system and your body. But the other way around is also true, as your neurology, your nervous system, gives you information about internal sensations and feelings by relaying them to your brain. Then you become aware. Think about it. Someone steps on your toe, and it takes a moment before that stimulus reaches your brain, and you're like, hey, you're hurting me, get off my foot, right? So actually it's an internal communication mechanism. Now, linguistics obviously has to do with the words that we use. It's both the verbal and non-verbal communication and the impact of words, both on yourself and on others. And the program is something that we've learned. Each and every behavior has a structure. And those structures are learned and can also be unlearned. You can learn new structures resulting in new behaviors. You can model a behavior from someone who you would like to model. So that's the set of structures that we call a program. Yeah? All right. Monique, are you ready, Monique?
Yes.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. Thank you for volunteering.
No problem. I'm glad to.
Good. All right. Okay, let's just dive into this. And I'd like to know, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
You're left-handed, so maybe assume that you're stronger in your left arm, as you probably use it more. The muscles are more developed.
No, definitely, yes.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, well, just follow my cues, my instructions, and you're going to be absolutely fine, all for the sake of the audience that will have to pay close attention to what you do, and they will observe certain things about you. So let's get to it,
Okay.
right? So please, to start with, stretch your left arm straight out in front of you. That's right. And you get to say a couple of words with your eyes closed, not yet, but I really want you to, what you're going to say, feel like it. Really absorb the meaning of what you're going to say. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're living it. All right? Let's see what happens and what you're going to say, and obviously we will do something about it afterwards. But for now, please just say repeatedly with, out loud and with your eyes closed, I am weak.
Okay.
All right? Off you go.
Okay. I am weak. 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 I am weak.
And open your eyes. Okay, excellent. And just shake loose, just move yourself, because obviously it's not a state that is true, right?
No,
And just
definitely
be
not.
your happy normal self again.
Okay.
Good, 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 excellent. All right. Now we're going to do something else, which is kind of the opposite, you could say.
Mhm.
And here you stretch out your right arm
Mhm.
and you say, I am strong.
Okay.
And again, really associate into the meaning of strong to you.
Okay.
Okay? With your eyes closed and just go on and on. Off you go.
I am strong. 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 I am strong.
Yes, you are. Wow, that was
Yeah.
a big difference.
Yeah.
And in a moment I'll ask you what you felt on the inside.
Okay.
But I believe that the audience has been able to see, even though you're seeing through your computer screen, that there was definitely a difference between the weak and the strong arm. It was very obvious. When she was saying weak, it was very easy to just press her arm down. There was no resistance at all, as she was really believing she was weak. On the other hand, strong, I really had to push hard, and she was not offering resistance. It was just strong, tense muscles. There were some other things that you've probably picked up. The first time around, with her left arm, she was moving her fingers, and the second time, this arm was kind of up and stood out. Her body seemed to be in more tension. And not only that, I believe I saw her chin a little bit more up the second time. And definitely did you notice her voice? I am weak sounded kind of soft, right? And when she said I'm strong, it came out louder. So we noticed all these differences on the outside, just based on different words. So I wonder, Monique, can you tell us what was your experience?
Yeah, definitely. The points that you mentioned, I felt with, a negative, untrue statement, that I did find myself even softer in my voice and almost sad in saying that statement, because it is such a negative, kind of diminishing phrase to say, especially when you repeat it over and over again. Then you really do start believing it. And you start feeling it physically, like you almost want to kind of crumble. Whereas with strong, I felt like I wanted to be proud, and I wanted to stand firmer and more rigid, and definitely project my voice more, because it feels more like a powerful statement. So definitely notice the difference in the positivity and the negativity, and how it affects me in my voice, but also in my physical appearance, and how I felt emotionally inside. So yeah, super interesting.
You see the effect that these words have, huh?
Absolutely.
The short words, yet with such a big implication.
Yeah.
And it definitely showed the second time you were so ready to go. So stick to that one, huh?
For
Stay
sure.
strong.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll be seeing you back again later on. So thank you very much for now.
Yeah. Thank you. That was very interesting.
Thanks. And so this is the thing with words. You really want to consider and probably reconsider the words that you use, especially when you have thoughts about yourself or you do your internal dialogue. We all do them, we all tell ourselves things, but there's people who say really bad things about themselves. You hear them say, like, I'm so bad at remembering names, or how is it possible that I can't do this? I'll never be able to do it. chances are really big that what they tell themselves will manifest, will become true, right? So please take a moment and consider the things that you're telling yourself and how they either debilitate you and your actions, or maybe they result in no action at all. And different words that you may use to empower yourself, that bring you into a better state, right? And change those words. And there's just one tip, just by saying, I am not able to, let's say, learn English. Then just add the word yet. I'm not able to learn English yet. This small word just keeps the door open, opens a possibility to learn it. It has a different impact on you, on your neurology, and what you believe about yourself. Change your words, and it changes your world. All right? Okay, so this is the first exercise. There's a couple of more until we definitely move with all this information forward into a well-formed goal. But first, I'd like to tell you about my first experience with NLP. This is several years ago when I was living abroad in Madrid. And I was working as a personal health and fitness trainer. And I got to train two young, talented motorbike racers, motorcycle racers. And they were 16 and 18, Ismael Ortega and Alvaro Bautista. And these guys, really young but so eager, and all they wanted was to race their motorbike every day. It seemed that they were born with it. And since they were so talented, they'd been scouted by this team that really wanted to put them on the big podium of the MotoGP, the World Championship motor racing. And I was lucky enough to assist at a session where they had this sport psychologist who was also an NLP master trainer. I had no idea what that meant. But anyway, I saw what he was doing, and he was doing the following. He made those boys stand up and close their eyes, and he was just instructing them to take a peek into the future. He really brought them to a future moment like this. He said, close your eyes. Now imagine you've just raced a race and you've won it. And there you are on the podium. See yourself standing on the podium, see all the audience and hear the crowd cheer at you, hear their applause, and see yourself enjoying that moment. See yourself standing there proud and satisfied. Excellent. Now step into yourself and see it again. See from your own eyes what you're seeing. And hear what you hear the crowd, and feel that excitement and all this adrenaline still from the race, but especially you have won. Feel that now. And those boys were, doing the exercise with their eyes closed, and their cheeks became red, and they seemed so excited on the outside. And then he instructed them, all right, now come back to the present moment, open your eyes. Hey, and they were back. And they were so ready. And I was like, I was in awe. What just happened? And he said, well, this is a visualization. And this comes from NLP. This is where we sort of create the memory of future, so that you think differently and you have different information. Your imagination becomes reality, or a real possibility. And new pathways are created. And I was like, really? And he said, well, this is NLP. And I said, tell me more, what is NLP? And he said, well, it's Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And I wasn't any wiser. It sounded kind of scary. And he said, when you have time? I said, yeah, I have time. Please tell me more. And we sat down, and I think we sat down for 8 hours, and I was just taking in all the information I understood. You can read books about NLP, but experiencing it like those boys had done, that was a huge difference. And truth be told, and this is the magic of NLP, those boys, 2 weeks later, they ran for the national championship of Spain, 125cc, and guess what happened? Both of them were on the podium. Alvaro was first and Ismael third. And Alvaro, by the way, he kept on growing and became world champion, and it was just the start of a great career. And this is what happened. And yeah, so visualization. This is something that you can do anytime. It's interesting how we can imagine our next holidays, and let's hope that soon we are able to travel again and visit beautiful places and beautiful cultures. But when you think about it, we can do that easily, imagine ourselves in some place where it is nice and the views are wonderful, where we have better temperatures. The same thing holds about you. You imagine yourself in a future moment, and when you set your mind to it and you make the experience completely sensory, and I will get back to that when we move towards a well-formed goal. That is probably the information that is so valid that makes your brain, with this new information already seen, already visible, it makes it easier to direct your brain and really go after that. And before you know it, it may manifest. All right. So we all know we can do visualizations. We do them. Now, this is about you. And I'd like to show you, and you can do this perfectly from where you are, from behind your screen or your iPad, the effect of a visualization on you, on your neurology. So do the following. Just sit back a little bit from your computer and stretch out both arms in front of you with your palms up. Now you're going to visualize on your left hand a helium balloon. And notice how it feels and notice how light it is. Just see it there. Imagine it on your hand. Got it? Okay. Now on your right hand, there's a book. And it's a really big book. It has more than 1,000 pages. It's really big. Now feel how heavy it is. See it there and notice what you feel about it. Okay? Okay, hold it. All right. Now close both eyes. Really close your eyes. And imagine again and feel again that balloon on your left hand. Really feel the balloon. Yeah? Excellent, good job. And now take a look at your right hand. And in your mind, see that big, heavy book on your right hand. Okay. Are you feeling the book? Excellent. Now open both eyes and see where your hands are. You see the effect? The light balloon and a book? Okay. That's what we mean with visualizations. They are really powerful. They're really powerful to the extent of becoming a world champion, racing a motorcycle. Excellent. So make sure that when you look into the future, make good visualizations, like plans, make good plans. There's a lot of people I know, they plan for disaster. They hear something new and they're planning for the worst things. It's not the way to go, right? I work with people, they come with problems about having negative thoughts, especially about themselves or what may happen in their lives, and it's just not true. I would say, think what could happen when you chase your goal, when you chase your future better version. What do you need for that? And keep going in that direction. And I know it's, again, with these times that we're living and these stricter measures that they're going to impose on us, it's not easy. And I really feel for you, my family, it's really strange, unknown times. And I would definitely, my suggestion is, what can you do in this time that will help you even for after Corona? How can you keep going? What was really functioning for you? I'm sure you had goals before Corona, to study, to become in better physical shape, to maybe eat healthier. Go back to those good thoughts and to those good goals that you had going, and pick it up where you left it. Because Corona also will pass. This will also pass. So use the time and visualize and plan for better things. It's all about planning. Make good plans. Okay? All right. So as with everything really in life, it's so important to have a purpose. A life lived on purpose is a life full of satisfaction. And in my work, I often ask people, so where are you going towards to, and what is your bigger purpose or your mission in life? And I was there too at one point that I really needed time to consider and really think hard about it. Why is purpose so important? Well, knowing where you're going to, heading in your right direction, keeps you just going. It has such a huge impact on your neurology. Again, those boys, their brain had seen that possibility of reaching actually a desired goal that they hadn't not even dreamt about. And when you have a direction to your brain, like it's a visual, your neurology just sets up to take you there. Okay, your neurology, your body follows your brain. So speaking of purpose, and we all know stories about persons, even people who have survived the Second World War in a concentration camp. There's this famous book of Viktor Frankl, and how he used his mind to think of his loved one, meeting his beloved wife again once the war was over and he was a free man again. And he was one of the survivors of the Holocaust. And there's other stories, Unbroken. This was also a prisoner of war, being in a Japanese camp as a prisoner, being tortured. And he really had to undergo the most cruel treatments and tortures. And he survived. Because he went just inside his brain and thought of when he would be back in the States where his parents had a farm, how he would take over the farm and grow new crops, and every day in his mind those crops were growing bigger and better, and this is how with purpose he was able to survive, also as one of the very few survivors. And I want you to do the following, because this is also a great exercise to do at home where you are right now. I want you to notice the difference of doing something without purpose and then doing something with purpose. Now, be gentle to yourself with this exercise, because I'm going to ask you to look over your left shoulder behind you, just as far as you can, but do it gently. I don't want you to end up with an overstretched neck. Just look behind you and see how far you can stretch your neck. Okay, slowly, gentle, excellent. Okay, and look forward again. Now imagine that just behind you from the ceiling, there's a thin thread and a spider. A spider is crawling down from that thread just right behind your head. And right now, it's behind your head. And I want you to look again over your left shoulder and look for that spider. Are you ready? Gentle again. Now go and see the spider right behind your head. Do it now. Are you seeing it? All right. And look up front again. So, did you notice how the second time you were able to stretch a little bit further, because now there was a purpose. The purpose was seeing the spider. And you saw it, didn't you? All right. Yeah? So this is the difference to your neurology. What is that purpose that you are envisioning? What are you seeing there that makes you put in that little extra effort day after day that gets you to your desired outcome? One step closer to your bigger purpose in life. Okay? Excellent. Now we've done already 3 exercises. We have seen the impact of words on neurology. We have done visualization, and you've noticed how it makes a difference. And then the third one is all about purpose. When you have a clear purpose in life and you direct your brain to it, you give sense to your life, to the meaning of your life, then you just put in that extra effort that takes you there. All right, excellent. When you're ready, I'm ready to take you to the 5 steps of the well-formed goal. So speaking of a well-formed goal, it has 5 steps, and it is important to make sure that when you begin to execute your goal daily, by taking steps each and every day, you move closer towards your purpose, your overall purpose. Yeah? And it's good to align your goal with your overall purpose, but we will get to that. The first step is to state your goal in a positive way. State it positively. When you say, I want to quit smoking, or I don't want a dead-end job, or I want to lose weight, those goals are really not positively stated. Yeah? It is important to have a goal stated positively because, well, most people know what they do not want and they stay stuck. It is way better to know what you do want, so you can set your brain up for it with visualizations. You can set your whole neurology up for it, moving towards instead of moving away from. Yeah? So instead of saying, I want to lose weight, better make a plan and say, I will weigh in 6 months from now 62 kilos, or any kilos you want. Yeah? So mention your target weight, or start describing better eating habits. Yeah? If you want to spend less money on clothes, better start making a plan how much money you want to save every month. Okay? All right, excellent. Now let's move to step number 2. Personal control, meaning that goal needs to be within your scope, within your possibilities. You initiate and maintain the execution of the goal. It doesn't depend on circumstances or other persons. If you say, I would like my boss to like me better. I would want my boss to like me better. Well, that's not within your scope, right? You better say, hey, in order to get to know my boss better, during our weekly talk, let me tell him something about myself, and maybe he will start talking about himself as well, so we can have a more and better interaction, right? Always speak from your possibilities, as you are the one responsible for achieving that goal. All right? Okay. The next one is the sensory-based check for your goal. These are all criteria, yeah? Meaning that you put yourself in that place where you want to be and you have a full sensory experience of that moment. It is a great check to see and find out if that goal is the right one for you. Huh? When I say sensory-based, you will see, hear and feel everything around you when you are there in that goal. Yeah? And also think of what other people see about you when you have reached your goal. How do you look? Okay? What do you see there? What do you hear there? Are you saying something to yourself? Are people saying something to you? And what do you notice when you're in that outcome? Okay? This is really a great check to find out whether to amend, correct the goal, or maybe delete it. Maybe it's not for you. Okay? Sensory-based check, that little peek into the future. Excellent, very good. Now moving to step number 4, it means ecological, that you, when you reach that goal, it doesn't have any negative effects on the people around you or on yourself. All right? So consider the ecological effects on others. An example is the business entrepreneur who wants to double his company's benefits every year, and his family doesn't get to see him anymore. And he also feels bad because he's spending less and less time with his family. So also consider your own goal in the sense of how will my life be different when I reach this goal? How will it affect others or not? Is this really what I want? Yeah, is this in line also with the bigger picture of my life? Okay, so those are the questions you want to ask yourself to make sure that this goal is ecological for others and especially for yourself. Excellent. Okay, let's move on to number 5. It is time specific. It means put a deadline to it, yeah, because a goal without a deadline is a dream, yeah. So, for example, and I would say put maximum a year, because it's to be overseen, yeah, that's kind of still doable, a year. Today is 21 January. You could say on January 1, 2022, I'm working as a life coach together with a team of inspiring coaches as we help others helping themselves, for example, right? Or on 1 September 2021, I weigh 65 kilos and fit into my favorite jeans. Okay, that's very specific and with the date to it because you have something to direct on, yeah? Make also sure that this goal fits within an overall purpose of your life. Yeah, make sure it fits in. It needs to align. So compare it to the person you want to be, say, in 20 years from now. Yeah, and does this goal help you? Does it fit into where you are headed? Excellent, fantastic. So let's have our model back again in a moment, Monique. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Jo.
Thanks for coming back.
No problem.
All right, so as all of you, Monique also brought in a goal for today.
Yes, I did. I have
Let's
many
hear
goals
it.
for the year, but the one that I brought specifically for this exercise is to basically to regularly get out more on a daily basis, ideally, and for fresh air, for human contact, and for movement.
Okay, out of the house, you mean?
Out of my house, yes, because for the last 10 months and for the foreseeable future, I have been working from home, which I'm privileged to do, and it's been working fine. But it does mean that I do not leave the house, especially in the weekdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can all relate to this, as we are more confined to our houses and our regular daily tasks and activities just seem so limited, and they are limited. So when I hear you say get out of the house more, obviously you are not going to work, but what do you feel like you need? I mean,
Well,
what does it mean?
Well, normally,
Going
if currently in the Netherlands we are in quite a stricter lockdown, so that does mean that our gyms and studios and other places of exercise are, for the most part, closed, which would be, at least while working from home, would be the way that I would get out, especially in the evening. So then I would have some social contact and I would also go out. But now, for the past few weeks and for the foreseeable future, that is not a possibility. So I also exercise mostly at home, because it's also winter time, so it's dark before and after working hours, so not that great to be outside. And
so what kind of exercises do you usually do?
I do try and do a bit of running once a week or so.
You try or you run?
I do, but that does take a bit more extra motivation because it's not my favorite sport. And I also do dancing, which I do at a studio, and different classes, and then just regular gym classes, which I mostly enjoy the group classes because of the social interaction and the yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So actually, you want to get out of your house daily to still have that exercise, be it different from before, and also to socialize.
Yeah.
Yeah, to find that mix. So when we look at our well-formed goal, Part of it is stated in positive, which is to get exercise and to have social contact. To get out of the house is like you want to move away from something. So you could rephrase that, like you're going out with a purpose, which is to
have a change of scenery, to feel refreshed, to get daylight, sunlight when the weather's nice.
Well, the days are getting longer, have you noticed?
Yes, and I'm grateful for that. And yes, social contact and movement.
Move your body, get some exercise, right? Is this within your personal control? Are you the owner of this goal?
Yes, to some degree, yes. And I think the thing that makes it difficult is some of the external factors, such as the fact that I work and there's an expectation that within certain hours I need to be available for work and be present. So I have some ownership over my time, but I can't just leave the house for an hour because the sun is shining and take a break for myself.
You can't at lunchtime?
I do get of course, I do get a break at lunchtime, but I also need to eat. And then it becomes a really long period of time. So it's finding that balance.
And managing your time.
And managing my time, yes. That I can still fulfill my responsibilities as an employee, and without the guilt of being away too much.
So how would you organize that within your goal, making sure it is your personal responsibility to keep it going? How could you rephrase that?
I mean, I feel like I'm a responsible adult, and I can manage my time quite well. And so that if I sacrifice something to do something that I know is to get out, that I can always make that time later.
Do you know how much time you would like to be out? And can it be even twice? Like half hour in the morning, half hour in the afternoon. I don't know.
It could be. I mean, anything from 10 minutes to 30 minutes would be great. Like even just a walk around the block,
Would get your creativity also getting started.
And I find that the days that I do that, it does make a difference to feel like, oh yes, tick, I've been outside. Because
what you get out of this is you're feeling better and energized, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think it's just everyone understands that it's healthy to get out. When you tell people, I haven't left the house in 2 days, their reaction is, oh, that's bad. Yeah. And that's not healthy. And everyone recognizes that that's not actually how we should live our lives. We need it.
Yeah, and, definitely. It also gets the toxins that accumulate out of your system by moving your body. It's part of who we are, right?
Yeah.
So personal control means plan it within your daily routine somewhere. Maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon, right? So this is how you get personal control. Now, sensory based, I'll want to get to that in a moment. Let's do first the ecological part. Who is going to benefit from this activity, and who is going to suffer from it? Anyone? What do you think?
Well, mostly me is going to benefit from it, I think. And actually, probably indirectly, the people that I work with, because I would come back refreshed and I would be more balanced and I will feel good about myself and what I've achieved in my day. But adversely, they could also be negatively affected if they urgently need me and I'm out and about enjoying my walk. That could also be...
Mobile phone?
Yeah, that could be possible.
Do you also count your steps or the distance?
Yeah, no, I will always have my phone with me.
Right.
So I will be contactable. It might not be able to implement a change that I need to do or open a document or something. That's the only kind of... but I can always say, I'll be back in 5 minutes because I'm not going to stroll very far away. So it's not about inconveniencing.
It's doable.
Yeah, it's doable. And yeah.
Excellent. So time specific, when would you like to get this goal started and where does it lead to? Does it fit into your overall Monique, who you are and who you want to be?
I mean, I'd like to start tomorrow.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, this is the time. We are currently in lockdown, so I feel like it's very relevant, and there's no real reason to delay it. I think just to once it's planned and it's formulated and I have some sort of action to or way of implementing it, then I don't see why I can't start tomorrow.
Exactly. What could be the first step to implement this tomorrow?
I think a big part of it's also just the mental commitment to say I am going to do this, and I want to do this. So I'm the only one who's in charge of putting on my coat and stepping out the door. So
exactly.
I just need to do it.
We will get to that, and we will rephrase this because I want to have the sensory check.
Okay.
Okay. So this is you, and you're going to step out of your house doing what you really love to do. So close your eyes for a moment and just imagine tomorrow morning, and you know that the days are getting longer, and by 8 o'clock you can already see some sun rays, but even before that it doesn't matter. If you want to see light, you can make light just by imagining you're going outside and you're dressed properly. It may be a bit windy, but still you will sense the forces of nature, isn't it? Which is a great thing to also take a deep breath and enjoy the fresh air and feel the fresh wind in your face. So I want you to step out of your house, see yourself doing that, see yourself looking up at the sky that is getting brighter, sensing the wind, see yourself, everything around you, and see how you move and how there's this pleasant expression on your face like, oh God, this is so good, I miss this, and this is going to benefit me at so many levels, and maybe there's a friend available who you're going to meet. Now I want you to step inside yourself, and you may take a little step forward as if you really step inside yourself, and you begin to see through your own eyes what you're seeing as soon as you walk out of the door. And I want you to hear the wind, whatever, maybe some traffic, some light traffic on the street. Maybe your friend is already waiting for you downstairs and you hear her voice or his voice. And notice the pleasant sensations that moving your body is giving you. Knowing that this fits with you, being that healthy person, keeping up her exercise, and the phone is ready. They will find you and you will find your way back. But for now, enjoy those sensations. Be fully in the experience and notice every detail, everything that you see, hear, and feel right now. And maybe there's some smells as well of fresh coffee. You just don't know anything good you may encounter. Excellent. Enjoy it fully and take this sense of well-being and satisfaction with you when you now step out of your body, and take one last look at yourself, enjoying the physical movements, the walking with or without a friend. Excellent. And notice how good this looks on the outside. Wonderful. And come back to the present moment. Good. Here you are, back again in the here and now. So I wonder, what is stopping you to arrange this for tomorrow? And the day after?
The weather forecast. No, I'm joking.
You must be used now to the Dutch weather.
Yes, no, I am. No, of course, that's not the biggest drempel, as we say. I mean, yeah, looking at my schedule, I think tomorrow is a busy day. I have lots of meetings. So just planning around that and seeing that I can get everything done.
10 minutes you may have already tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then by the start of next week, you will have your full week schedule that you can schedule in your moments of pleasure, those Monique moments, right? And also arranging with your friends to meet up with them, right?
Yeah, I think there's always a great accountability with that, because then you know someone's waiting for you. And I've experienced this with running with a friend. Then even if you don't feel like getting out of bed, you know someone's going to be waiting for you, and then you have to meet each other there. So
but you never know, eh? That's not within your scope.
No,
but you can always imagine a hallucinatory friend who you can talk to, and they won't talk back, which can also be nice.
Absolutely.
So how would you rephrase your goal that you came in with? How would you say that differently, closer to you, where you have really grip on it, so it works for you? starting tomorrow?
Starting tomorrow, I think taking some time out for myself to recharge and refresh in the outdoors with movement and fresh air and maybe some company.
That's very
on a
specific.
daily basis.
That's very specific. And enjoying it.
And
right?
enjoying it, yes.
Yeah.
And not feeling guilty about it.
Feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And knowing that there are benefits to that, so
And
that's
actually it's very ecological, because as you will feel better, the people around you will feel better.
Yeah.
It usually works like that, huh?
and I will probably be more productive because I've taken a break and
start again afresh.
yeah,
with
exactly.
new
and get
ideas.
inspired and so
one more shot for
Yes.
your well-phrased,
well phrase goal. Ooh,
well-formed goal
it's on
from
the spot.
me, Monique, tomorrow. You, Monique.
I'm going to enjoy the outdoors for a change of scenery and I don't know how to do this shortly.
You're going to walk.
I'm going to go for a walk to
Make it specific.
to refresh
Specific.
and get up. Yeah, I don't want to say get outside the house. I'm going to go for a walk for a change of scenery.
2 words. Yeah.
Two, yeah.
Away from your house, we know that. But 2 words makes it so compelling. Like, oh my God, I can't
Yeah.
wait. First light of
Going
the day.
outside. Yes.
Going and doing what you like, with all the benefits that it has.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have any counter benefits, does it? You have your phone with you. You can react any moment.
Yeah. So that's it. Have we done
Right? We're done.
Right.
I'll let you off the hook.
Great. Thank you.
And you know what to do, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
And
Moving towards.
and now I can actually also write it down and look back at it and
And say it out loud.
yeah, exactly.
And so you believe it, right? And you're
Mm.
totally entitled to do this,
Yeah.
because with responsibility you arrange it around
Mm.
your intense working days.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That sounds
And
good.
you believe you can, otherwise you would be here.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
So I
Thank
have
you so much.
thank you. It was a very helpful exercise, and I hope that people watching also could recognize themselves maybe in the situation. I think we're all a lot in the same boat, and hopefully that you will also be inspired to get out maybe and see how that you can make that work as a goal for yourself. Maybe you didn't realize that should be a goal. And I think just a couple of questions from my side, and what I think
Go ahead.
everyone else might also be asking. Now that I have formulated my goal, my well-formed goal, how do I move on? What kind of practical steps can I do? I know we've touched on it a little bit, but maybe just for a recap.
Well, I think the most important thing is to see yourself doing that and enjoying that activity, right? And keep repeating that goal, and maybe you have to polish it and put it into the most specific words that you can find. And there's a benefit to the goal, which when you achieve it, that's the reward, right? So again, the bigger goal, with you being in good shape, right? As soon as you start tomorrow morning, and 4 weeks from now, it has become automatic behavior. Okay, so just keep going, because the reward is waiting for you there. And once you begin to feel good about yourself, you begin to think in possibilities instead of restrictions or limitations, right? So that's what I usually say. Once you start using these well-formed goals, they become like a habit, like a daily routine. Even when you're going to peel an orange, or you're going to ride your bike, for example. It's just things that you do without thinking. Same thing with these goals, once you start to formulate them this way. Yeah?
Exactly, yeah.
And a big thing is not to use the word try. The same way you putting on your coat, you're not trying to put on your coat, you just do it,
Yes.
isn't it? And this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So make this practice to keep
Okay.
saying what you want to do, and then just do it. You repeat this day after day, it becomes a new habit before you know it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
a lot easier and more natural to do.
Yeah. Think towards pleasure, towards what you want.
Okay. Nice. And then on the other hand,
Yeah.
there are some pitfalls and negative things. That what kind of pitfalls are common for trying to achieve your goals or create a well-formed goal?
Well, exactly the word trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we want to keep that out of our vocabulary, unless it is food that you're trying, as in
Okay,
tasting,
yes.
right? Some new recipes.
Yes.
A lot of people have gone back to cooking great things. I mean, and that's a beautiful activity that really makes persons feel good. So avoid certain words like trying or I want to. As soon as you do what you want to do, then that's where you find yourself practicing to get into that new habit easier and faster. And look forward.
Okay.
And how does it fit into the person you want to be? Let's say 2 years from now or 5 years from now. That's the way you want to be thinking. Yeah, direct your brain to that. Give purpose to your life.
Okay. So would you say even saying not say I want to, but rather to say I am going to?
Exactly.
So okay.
So not now I want to go and for some fresh air. No, I'm going out to get fresh air.
It's a lot more assertive and not just speaks of the desire, but it's actually that speaks of the action.
Exactly. It's the direct information to your brain and to your neurology. It just activates itself. We are the commander of our brain, not our brain, the commander of us.
Yeah.
Right. So be clear. Give clarity to your brain.
And intentional about that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly, how can we find out more about what you do or contact you? And just for anyone who's interested in NLP further and wants to read up more about it or get in touch with you.
Thank you. Well, we give certified courses in The Hague. These are the NLP practitioner and NLP practitioner master practitioner course and the NLP coach training. And here are the contact details. Training, coaching, mentoring. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Here you are.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed participating in the exercises and helping me formulate my goals. And I definitely am going to relook the ones that I've set for this year and maybe probably rephrase them. I am going to rephrase them in a way that will make them more well-formed and achievable.
Know what you want and you will get there.
Yeah.
Using the right words.
Great.
It was my pleasure being here and keep me posted.
Thank you.
And invite me for a walk.
Yes.
Every now and then.
Will do. Thanks,
Cool.
Joan.
All right.
Thank you so much, Joan, for that great, wonderful workshop. It's lovely having you here, and you're always welcome to come back for another great show, of course.
Thanks.
So, as promised, we have a giveaway at the end of the workshop. The giveaway is 2 speed coaching sessions, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, of 30 minutes with the one, the only Joan. And there's 2 lucky winners, so 1 session per winner. And if you want to enter this giveaway, make sure to send your well-formed goal to the email address that appears on the screen right now. So if I were you, I'd send your well-formed goal to that email address right now as we're wrapping up this show. Next month, we have another ChangeX event, which is all about community building. So for now, I want to thank you for watching and stay safe.